Are out there from over 23 years here at HSN. Please take a moment to call in, say hi to us. It's the Love Show. I love that. And I have to say, I am in love with this. Oh my gosh.
Isn't
First
that
of all,
just so beautiful?
Look at this gorgeous thing. I mean, honestly, I gasped. I don't think I've ever seen such pretty
none of us have
packaging.
seen such a beautiful bottle.
My word.
It's a collector's item without question.
It is. Now, you've got two different choices here. So we've got our Esprit, and then we also have our Destiny. So the Esprit, that's kind of like footloose and fancy.
It's actually, it's the Pheromone and the Destiny, but they're in the Esprit, which is, Shannon, closer to perfume than we've ever had anything before.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Oh,
so where the Eau de Parfum is 25, the perfume is about 35, and this is 30, so you're very, very close to a perfume, which imagine in this glorious, glorious bottle.
It's
and it's a spray, and you'll never be the same. So.
You'll never be the same. Now remember, you can choose Destiny or Pheromone. Destiny, there are only 500 of them, so only 500 to go around. So should we start there, Marilyn, talking about who Destiny's for?
And Destiny I created for the woman who balances her sensuality with her spirituality. And Shannon, people said don't talk about spirituality, but Shannon, we have it.
We have,
all of us have it.
Absolutely. Oh, and look at those beautiful encrusted decanter. I mean, seriously, you will swoon.
Like the little
see
Swarovski crystal.
I know, it's so gorgeous.
I know I'm not supposed to say that, but that's okay. That's how it looks.
Exactly, I know.
So we have to tell it as it is. And the Destiny has no top note, and actually only white flowers. And aren't they beautiful, Shannon?
They really are. And actually, we hear from so many of our fans that the Destiny is perfect if you maybe work in a medical field.
Yes.
It's kind of our church, goers, if you're going to church or synagogue, because you don't have to worry about the top note. So you've got jasmine. Oh, is that calla lily?
It is, and white rose, that flower of unconditional love, and osmanthus, and the narcisse, and the white orchid, which is so beautiful.
It really is.
And of course you have a little moss in the base, and vanilla, which amplifies lust, and sandalwood, and the crystalline. So it's just a lovely, delicate fragrance, but more than that, Shannon, this is really like the perfume.
Yeah, and you know what, to Marilyn's point, that means it is a huge value. You know very well if you shop in stores that the parfums are obviously should be
and very few people are making them today.
Yes, because they are so wildly expensive. I mean, you could easily put a digit, maybe even another digit in front of that $59 price. I mean, because
you really could.
You really could. So Destiny, if you want, they're only 500. Remember, there is no top note. So that's, we call it, if you're going to church, if you're going to synagogue, if you work in a medical facility.
It's quietly spectacular.
It is, and very, very feminine. But should we talk about our leading lady?
Sure, the first one, the first girl.
Yes, our leading lady is Pheromone, and she has been a star for how long now?
For 35 years.
Is it really?
Yes, Shannon, and someone called today and said, I've loved Pheromone and have been wearing it for 30 years.
Wow.
And she said, I just still love it. It gives me compliments. And that's about the fragrance. What can you say? I mean, that's a classic unto itself.
It's so interesting because now, in this day and age, we use Pheromone almost generically.
I know. I knew that it would become a generic word when I named it.
Yes, and it's so funny because people had not heard of Pheromone, and they couldn't figure out how and why you wanted to call it.
And the marketing men said, you can't name it Pheromone. No one will be able to pronounce it. Well, that's all I had to hear.
Exactly. So describe some of the notes that we see here, Marilyn.
Well, Pheromone has 179 of them. All of them, of course, cannot be here, but we have the beautiful Italian bergamot and the leafy greens, which gives it that fresh green feeling, and the orange flower, and then the jasmine Italian and the geranium, and we know how good a geranium smells, and then the iris and the cassis absolute, and then the sandalwood from the East Indies, and the oak moss and the vanilla absolute. But then in addition, now there are 179, but in addition to those 179 ingredients, There are 7 of them documented on ancient
I was going
papyrus.
to ask about that. So there is a storied history behind pheromone that
Without
literally
question.
starts as far back as the ancient Egyptians.
5,000 years.
5,000 years.
And we didn't know about what they were doing, but now that we do, it certainly has made an impact on our lives.
It has.
After all those years.
But you know, if you followed Marilyn's work, because first of all, she's one of the most recognized nose, they call it in the industry, noses in the industry. She has a pedigree of fragrance that I think you'd be hard pressed to find anyone else in the world who is more respected for what they have done with fragrance than Marilyn Miglin. You think of Pheromone as an example. She has been our leading lady for over 35 years. In the world of fragrances come and they go. I mean,
they really do.
They really
in
do.
A year.
Literally within a year. Somebody launches a fragrance, 12 months later, you've never heard of it ever again.
Right.
So you have to understand, Marilyn's doing something right for a fragrance to be around for over 3 decades and to yet still be such a quintessential favorite. She is. It's definitely a captivating fragrance. And the thing that we find about Pheromone in particular, I think, is it takes on its own personality depending on the person wearing
and
it.
each person is so unique and so different.
It really does.
It's the only linear fragrance, meaning it's carefully balanced. So it's not a floral, it's not an oriental, and that's the way you categorize
Right.
them. The oriental is a proper way to categorize it. And it's not a green, and it's not a floral.
Right.
It's just whatever you are, it becomes.
You know, and I think that's such a great way to describe it, because even though we see those fragrance notes, it's hard to quantify pheromone. I mean,
yes.
Because I know our Destiny, and by the way, Destiny at this point, I think we have a little over 400 to go around. If you do work in a closed environment, if you are someone who is more fragrance sensitive, if you work in a medical facility, we hear that Destiny is our lady for those of our friends who, you know, have to be a little more aware or want something subdued but feminine. That's a perfect choice. And then of course Pheromone is your leading lady. Not only we have so many stories from the girls who work here at HSN that they have found their man.
I know, it's a male
Pheromone.
magnet.
It is a male magnet. I mean, so look out, ladies.
But you know, interestingly, speaking of Destiny, a woman called earlier and she said, I couldn't wear fragrance.
Yes.
She said, I finally decided to try Destiny, and she said, thank you, I now love it and I can wear fragrance.
Yes.
And that was lovely, Shannon.
No, and we do hear that a lot about Destiny in particular, and I realize it's not about the packaging, but how can you not? I mean,
well,
that is
just to own this, I think.
stunning.
And you shouldn't really use too much of the perfume. You should save it.
I mean, honestly, you're going to want to ration this out. It's just, I have never seen anyone do something that is so artfully disposed in terms of perfume decanter. And that Esprit, it really is parfum. I mean, it really is.
Yes, it is.
So we should be putting, like a 2 or a 3 or a 4 or a 5 in front of that.
Capital P.
Yeah, exactly.
Capital D.
Seriously, in front of that $59.95 price. Melinda is calling us in California. Melinda, welcome to Marilyn Miglin's last show of the visit. Please say hi.
Hey, Shannon, I can't believe I'm on HSN. This is the first time I've ever called in. You're my husband's favorite show host.
Oh my goodness, I don't blame him. He has good taste.
Well,
And thank you, Melinda, for calling.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Shannon. Marilyn, you are my very favorite person that comes on HSN.
Thank you. Well, Shannon and I stand to be very honored here.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You're such an elegant, beautiful, dignified woman. I really admire you. Now, I'd like to, before I forget, ask you to please give us a big magic, just the magic kit. Can you do that?
I happen to have magic in my warehouse.
Oh, yes.
So it would be my pleasure, but I hope everybody's listening for the powers that be.
Yes.
So, but we have, do we have
Magic.
magic nights at all?
Do you know what? I tell you what, Marilyn, I'm going to have my producer do a little investigative research.
Okay.
And if we can find any magic, we'll be sure and give you that item number, okay?
Thank
But
you,
Melinda,
sweetheart. Now, I want to tell you, today I bought Pheromone, Pheromone Red, lip gloss, gypsy. I'm curious the way you described it. And M for men. I know you only do M for men like a couple of times a year.
Yeah.
Also, I have so much to say because I have admired you and I have used.
Oh, thank you.
Pheromone. You're welcome. I'm not even letting you talk, Marilyn.
That's
I'm just
okay.
so
That's
excited.
okay. It's good to hear from you.
But I want to tell you that the first time, because often you ask this question, where I found Pheromone, remember Robinson's in Beverly Hills?
Of course.
Next to the Beverly Hilton.
Who
It's
could
no
forget
longer in
Robinson's?
existence. Well, I was in college, and I tried, they were like spraying it,
Yes.
and it was very expensive. Ladies, it's true. I mean, if you go to like a very expensive a department store, I won't mention names, it's really, really expensive.
Sure.
Yes, it is.
And I guess because it's HSN, and there's so much volume that you
Right.
can do this. I also want to tell you, you say you have stories about men and women. I was at a grocery store years ago, and they call it Rock and Roll Ralph's because it's in the Hollywood Hills and all the rockers go there. In fact, my husband once saw Eric Clapton in the meat department, and I saw George Clooney. But anyway, this
That's a good
man was
person to see.
following me around, and he said, "What are you wearing? What are you wearing?" And I think I had mixed pheromone and magic.
Oh,
And-
wow. That's hot.
Yes.
Yep.
That is.
No
And
wonder he followed you.
Yeah, no kidding. Melinda, you
I'm
have...
telling you. And just the other day, this woman stopped me and she said, "What are you wearing?"
Yeah.
Usually I can't stand it when women have perfume and it's just overpowering. What is it? And of course I said pheromone. And anyway, I love it, love it, love it. But please, please, please get magic.
Oh, without
and I
question.
have-
After your call,
for
we're getting it
certain.
ready now.
Definitely, Melinda, you have been a doll. We thank you so
with
much for
such
stopping
a
by
nice
HSN.
call.
Thank you for a
And
lovely call.
Shannon, could you please say hi to Brian? He's not here right now, but I'm taping this. And Marilyn, I love you. I love you, love you, love you. I want to be like you.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
just think you're gorgeous.
Thank you.
I'm 67,
Isn't-
and most people don't even know it. They're shocked.
Well, you're
don't
just a
sound
young
like it.
whippersnapper.
Exactly. Melinda, our best to you. And Brian, we love you.
Yes,
Happy
absolutely.
Valentine's
Brian, you have
Day.
good
Throw him a
taste in
kiss,
ladies.
Shannon. Throw him a kiss, please. Throw Brian a kiss.
And we
To you,
both blow
Brian.
all of you a kiss. Melinda, thank you.
Thank you, Melinda. Oh, how sweet was she? But that is so true. I mean, when you wear Marilyn's fragrances, don't be surprised
Yeah,
if
you
men,
change.
Yeah, men and women do chase you.
And I
They want
had
to
men
know.
in mind when I created it,
Yes.
Shannon, sure.
And that's a big deal, I think, because, and Marilyn knows that I believe this to be true. There are so many fragrances out there. I mean, we all kind of get lost. But I think if you're going to wear fragrance, you should smell like a woman, and you should embrace that. There are so many fragrances out there that I think try to be kind of gender friendly or blur the lines or make you smell like a cupcake, or icing or a piece of fruit. When you really want to smell like a woman or the best of what a woman is, I think pheromone is
And
the perfect
pheromone,
choice.
exactly. And
Yes.
pheromone makes a woman feel elegant, sophisticated, very rich, and that's what a fragrance should do for you.
It absolutely should. So we have fewer than 2,000. Of those 2,000, I think, Luciano, about 400 or so are on the Destiny. Oh, actually, fewer than 400. They both come in this beautiful, this dynamite collectible, crystal-enhanced decanter that I can't imagine Marilyn will ever do that ever again. And it's free shipping. It's less than $15 on your credit card. Thank you for the shots, guys. That really shows off the beauty of this, both outside and inside.
Isn't that just so beautiful?
Yeah, that's spectacular.
You just want to look at them.
You do, actually. And remember, it is an Esprit de Parfum, which is really a parfum, which should be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for those of you who follow what happens in the world of fragrance. We'll also pay to send it to you. Remember that this is Marilyn's last show.
My last
of the
love
visit,
show.
The last love show in honor of Valentine's Day. So we've got much more to come. 112 is